But first, we're going to talk a little bit about stress. You know, the storms that blew through here about a couple of weeks ago have many of us still cleaning up and rebuilding. So chances are you're a little bit stressed. Dr. Morello with Nature's Outlet is here to give us a few ideas.
A lot of us are stressed, and we call it, in the medical world, we call it the fight or flight response. And I think you probably have heard the fight or flight response. And just for the audience to kind of understand what that is, it's like we'll use the animal kingdom as an example.
Okay.
And so, for example, when the zebra meets the lion in the jungle, the zebra is going to be stressed out because the lion's going to eat it, right? So what happens is the zebra's cortisol level and adrenaline levels go way up. And what happens at that time, the zebra's eyes dilate, become very big. The brain is very active. It senses everything. The gut actually shuts down because you don't need to digest at that time, and it pushes all the blood to its limbs because it needs the limbs to run, right? Okay. And remember, the zebra has two choices: either fights the lion or runs away. That's why it's called the fight or flight response. And the zebra decides, smart enough, to run. So it runs, and eventually, that response saves the zebra's life because it runs so fast that it beats the lion. Right. Okay, now. Imagine that in our daily lives. We're not stressed because of a lion. We're stressed because of mortgage payments, because of credit card bills, because of work, because of relationships, family, kids, neighbors, traffic, whatever it is. And so our eyes are wide open, our hearts are racing, and at night when we try to go to bed, we can't because our minds are racing so much, so we can't sleep properly.
I have that problem. I'm wound up.
We're wound up, exactly. So we want to de-wind ourselves down. So there's actual supplements that can help us do that.
All right, and then you have, yes, and that's why you're here, because you have one. This one's in the form of a cleanse. I like this. A 10-day system?
It's a 10-day system, and it has two different products. So one of the products actually addresses what we just talked about, the elevation in cortisol at night. So it's a combination of different botanicals and some nutrients like phosphatidylserine that actually reduce your cortisol levels by about 50% in about an hour. So yeah,
and it works that quickly.
It works that quickly, so it should work the first time you take it. If the reason you're not sleeping is because of the elevated cortisol, which a lot of people have, so it'll drop it right away, so you can have a good night's sleep. So that's one of the ingredients. The second ingredient is there are so many toxins coming from the environment. I mean, I don't know if you were familiar with the Toxome project, but it was a project put together in 2000, and they found toxic levels, and everybody tested. They actually tested the umbilical cords in newborn infants. They tested them for 400 chemicals, and they found 280 toxic chemicals.
Really?
Umbilical cords of newborn infants. Yeah, it's amazing how much exposure we have to toxicities in the environment because we have over 85,000 chemicals registered with the EPA.
That's scary.
It really is scary. And so what are these chemicals doing physiologically? And is our liver overburdened by trying to handle all these chemicals? So one of the other ingredients in here is something to help your liver better cope with these chemicals to get them out of the system. Yeah. So that's why they call it the stress cleanse, because not only does it have something to reduce your cortisol levels, but it also has something to restore detoxification properties in the body. So we're trying to reduce these chemicals that are having an impact on stress, that may have an impact on detoxification, that eventually will have an impact on the production of cortisol.
And so this is a 10-day system, really. Is this something you recommend maybe a couple times a year? How often do you recommend?
A couple of times a year. Yeah, do these things. And the key is to learn about your body, to learn how your body's reacting to things, and then to see, wow, that thing really worked. Wow, that really made me feel better. Perhaps now I may be able to, I'm going to start dealing with my stress levels. I'm going to try to cope with the stress. So these things are bridges that get us to the other side, and then we can have a better picture of what's going on and try to fix these issues because we all have issues in our lives.
Oh yes, we do.
And we all need help with these things. And so natural medicines can really go a long way in helping a lot of the problems that we have.
And again, all natural. And nothing's better for your body than all natural.
Well, it minimizes side effects. Have you ever seen any of these commercials on TV where they're touting a drug? I mean,
and the side effects list comes.
It just goes on and on. You might want to talk to your doctor because this does this, and this. It's like, oh my God, what a list! I don't even have enough paper to write all those side effects. So that's one minimal side effects. That's a key. Natural products, no side effects.
Such great information, and all the folks at All the Nature's Outlet. They're so knowledgeable, so if you have any questions, if you need some help with anything, you can give them a call. That is the Roanoke number, by the way, but you can go to naturesoutlet.net for more information.